Hi everyone, it's Jay Egersdorff here, previewing game week 25 of the Fantasy Premier League. I'm back. I had a bit of the man flu, I'm afraid, so I couldn't put together a video for you for last time round. So sorry about that, and I did put out a few tweets just with a few of my thoughts. So I hope you guys saw that. For those who saw the previous video, I was cooped up hiding in my garage from the rest of my family who had this bug, and eventually it got to me in the end. So luckily I'm on the other side now and feeling a bit better. So game week 25, where we're at now, we're sat right in the middle of game week 24 as I film this video. So yesterday there's a whole bunch of games, and tonight there's Liverpool are playing and Chelsea are playing. So I think I'm sat on about 27, 28 points. I've got people like Salah, Robertson, Hazard, Alonso, Wan-Bissaka all to play. So hopefully a good result for Liverpool and a good result for Chelsea. We'll see a half-decent game week. Kind of sat still in the position I was when I did that last video, about 350k, something like that. So still plenty of points to play for. And one of the main things I'm going to be chatting about this video is really relevant, and that is the double game week that has been announced for game week 25. So I'm going to focus quite a bit on that, and then chat about the usual stuff, left field options, FPL donut, and the captain options as well. So where do we start? We start with Man City, and I've got to hold my hands up. I'm really sorry, Man City fans. I actually think I am cursed this season. So I've brought in Sané for Redmond, and I've got a feeling tonight Nathan Redmond is going to get a whole load of points because I had to fit Sané in somewhere. Didn't want to lose with Richarlison because of course he's got the double. And I had 5 million sat in the bank that I guess I could have carried the transfer, but I just thought when you've got that amount of money in your bank, you've got to get it into your team, in my view. It's not getting you any points sat there in the bank. That, of course, has all come about from the Harry Kane injury, which meant I had to, as a lot of you will have done, pretty much redo your team. So double game week gets announced. City are up at Newcastle. You're thinking to yourself, that's a banker. City go 1-0 up after a minute, and I didn't see the score again until the very end. I couldn't believe that Newcastle had won 2-1. But I think that is now the last 4 defeats that Man City have had have all coincided with me having Man City players in my team. So I'm very, very sorry, City fans, but I do think I've got some sort of curse. So one thing we love in FPL is these double game weeks, and double game weeks mean opportunity, and it means planning, and it means things really start to get interesting. So for those reasons, Richarlison has stayed in my team. He got a stay of execution because of that double game week, so great that he scored last night. I think City, ideally we'd all go out, wouldn't we, and we'd get 2 or 3 City players, safe in the knowledge that they're going to get appearances in both of those games, ideally starts and ideally 90 minutes. But as we know with Pep, the rotation is really, really unpredictable. So as with a lot of you, I've now got Sané. We've got the threat of Mendy. We've got the challenge that they don't have a game in game week 27. So I'm kind of reluctant to stack up on too many City players. I think the 2 obvious moves that I can see are, I've got a straight swap between Alonso and Mendy. Put off a bit for a couple of reasons. One, Mendy hasn't played a Premier League game for ages, and he wasn't in the squad last night. Secondly, City's defence isn't actually on great form. I counted up, they've only kept 3 clean sheets in the last 14 Premier League games, which isn't great, is it? So that's a challenge there with the defence. Of course, then you've got to sub them out in game week 27 probably when they don't have a game. And attacking wise, the other option I have is to get rid of Salah. Sorry, to get rid of Salah, you'd be mad to do that. Get rid of Hazard and switch him for Sterling. Well, we don't know yet. Hazard, I thought, played great against Tottenham last week in the Carabao Cup, and they have Bournemouth tonight, so obviously crossing everything that he carries on that form. And then he's got Huddersfield at home, so are you really going to sub out Hazard? Even though, yes, Sterling has 2 games, but he's not guaranteed to play. He's playing Arsenal, he's playing Everton. Neither of those are great fixtures. I think Arsenal at home is okay. I think pretty much any fixture for Man City at home constitutes a decent one. And what that has led me to think is that just on that sort of going all in on Man City, there's a lot of talk that I can see with the triple captain. When's the optimum time to play it? Because we don't know exactly the rest of the format for the other double game weeks that are yet to be scheduled. But we do know that you can only use one chip per week, and that means wildcard, free hit, bench boost and triple captain all have to be factored in. So 2 Man City games does seem pretty attractive, and I think that if you are going to go for the triple captain, I think you have to go all in, if you like, on Manchester City. I think it's too hard to pinpoint. Say, for example, you just went, oh, I've only got Sané, I'm going to go triple captain on Sané. In a really funny way, I think it's too hard. If you, I'm not explaining this very well, but I think if you are going to back Man City enough to triple captain one of their players, you may as well fill your team with other Man City players on the basis that you are hoping that they steamroller Arsenal and steamroller Everton, and the player that you've triple captained kind of gets swept along and carried along with that momentum. I think if you were talking, say, Chelsea or Liverpool, and you've got nailed on players, or Tottenham, if Kane was fit, if Hazard had 2 games, if Salah had 2 games, let's apply the same fixtures. It's foreseeable that Liverpool could perhaps win both those games 1-0 and Salah, Hazard or Kane be the scorer of that goal, given the fact they contribute so many goals. City, on the other hand, split the goals across a whole bunch of attacking players. They've got so many options. You kind of relying on them to win each game 3 or 4-0, and then even if your player is a sub and you've triple captained them, let's say they play the first game and score and they get 8 points, and then the next game they don't start but they come on and they get an assist and they get 4, that totals 12. You'd be quite happy with that. But it's too hard to get that right if they're only going to win both the games 1-0. Does that make sense? So if you're going to triple captain them, I think that would therefore, in my case, mean that I'd probably have to switch Hazard and go Sterling and go all in a bit on Man City, if that makes sense. Hope it does. I think on the flip side to that as well, we've got other players that if you do go all in on Man City that you're not going to be able to get to. Aubameyang looks pretty essential to me right now, less so for the Man City away game, but after that he's got some really good fixtures. Doesn't have a blank in game week 27. He's took the penalty last night, so clearly is on penalties. We've got people like Son that are coming back from their international commitments. We've got players like Sadio Mane who are a bit under the radar, but Liverpool have good fixtures. Liverpool have got a real incentive now to start winning games. Liverpool don't have a blank. You know, it's really tricky. So I think if you are going to go after that City one, you need to go after it quite aggressively. And, you know, it's quite a lot to think about there as to whether that's going to be the right play. So let me just check. I want to make sure I've covered off everything I wanted to say to you about that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, left field options then. So I've pulled out 3 of the double game week players, and I've pulled out another team for you to think about. So, in fact, let's backtrack a second. Let's do FPL Donut is an absolute gimme. Lucas Digne. I know I've probably said his name wrong. I can't. I'm cursed with that as well, getting that guy's name wrong. So hopefully I've got that right. Sent off last night, -2 points. And misses, I believe I did see he misses both the double game weeks, but I thought it was only 1 game ban for a red card, a professional foul. But maybe I'm wrong. So, anyway, he's not much use to you when he doesn't have a double game week. He only plays half, and that half is Man City. That's not great, is it? So, he's going to get FPL Donuts, bit of a no-brainer. That opens the door as a left field option for Leighton Baines, an FPL legend. Free kicks, penalties, corners, crosses, came into the team last night and helped Everton get a 1-0 win. So I think he could be a good option. I also think another FPL veteran, Gylfi Sigurdsson. Nobody's really talking about him. Everybody's got their eyes on Man City. Excuse me. I told you I've been ill. He could be an option. Irrespective of the opponents, Everton, they've got 2 home fixtures, Wolves and then Man City. City, as we know, aren't keeping many clean sheets, so could yield some results. He's left field because not many people have him now, but I think he's an amazing FPL player, and if he's fit, he could really make a difference, and that's Mendy for Man City. I talked about him before. And then if you're looking for maybe a team that do have a fixture in game week 27, maybe you need a player that's a bit cheaper. I've said this earlier, but I do like the Cardiff lads in terms of the defence. I think particularly at home, and they've got a number of home games. They play at home in game week 27. They've got some good fixtures coming up. They're going to need clean sheets if they're going to stay up because they ain't got the goals in the team. So they're going to need 1-0s. Bamba, Morrison, the other guy, he wears number 5. Is it not Mangala? I know he's not Mangala. I always get the names wrong, I'm sorry. You know the guy I mean. And obviously Everidge in goal as well. I think Cardiff could be an option. Okay, so we chatted about 25, chatted about left field, chatted about the donut. The captain, okay, so you're probably going to captain a Man City player, aren't you, in a double game week? Yes, you could go Salah. Hazard at home to Huddersfield could be a really good one, but I can't see why you wouldn't captain a player that has a prospect of playing twice. I mean, even Arsenal at home, plus 20 minutes against Everton for Sterling or Sané, if they get rotated, you'd expect them to play. Start one of those games. I still think they'll get goals against Arsenal, and I just think you're missing an opportunity. You've got to go for it, haven't you? Surely you've got to go for it. If you don't go for it, you're going to be really like hiding behind the sofa for that Everton game, aren't you? And I've said it before in another video when I did the Meet the Manager with Joe at FS Scout, and I said that in my view, FPL's got to be a bit of fun, and if you're not going to captain a City player in a double game because you're worried they might get rotated, then what's the point? Go for it. Be a bit adventurous and go for it. So I think Sterling, Sané, De Bruyne, and any other City guys, it's a lottery, isn't it? But I reckon they're the captain. If you don't have a City player, then brave of you, but like I said, Hazard, I think, and Salah is always obvious. Finally, shout out. So shout out to my Patreon crew. Cheers for your support, everybody. Launched a new thing last week, a new feature that I'm running on there alongside all the other stuff. It's called Fan in the Stand, and it's a series of interviews that I'm going to be doing with season ticket holders of different Premier League clubs. The Man City one is on there now. I met a guy called Curtis who we chatted about a whole bunch of stuff to do in Man City. So I've had some great feedback for that, by the way, so thank you everybody who's taken time to drop me a line on that. Go check that out if you're interested. Another couple of shout outs I'd like to shout out to a couple of my Patreon pals, guys that chat to me on the Slack channel, Oscar and Mitch. Hiya guys, and they are running, they're looking at doing their own FPL content, starting out completely new to it. They put out a video last week, and if you want to check them out, it's at FPL_gents, as in gentlemen. I'll write a link at the bottom. Check those guys out, and there's another good account that I follow that's a bit more mature. It's been going for I think since the start of the season. The guys over at the Onion Bag FPL. I quite like the sense of humour of these guys. It's quite chilled out, quite relaxed. So if you want to try something new, check those guys out. Anybody else starting out with new content or looking at starting FPL content in the community, shout me a line on Twitter and I'll check it out, and always pleased to help new creators and stuff with FPL content. So that's it for me. Have a great game week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your support and follows and subscriptions and all that cool stuff. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of this game week and enjoy the one at the weekend too. Cheers.